Come on.
Cause I'm out here grinding.
Getting slow.
Do overheads again.
The overheads to look good.
Come on.
Alright, Albert.
41.
41 right here.
41.
41. 41.
Separate. Oh. 40.
Close. That's the first time you've said the number and it hasn't happened.
I know. Well, I can do that with a knife.
Every time he's been like, alright, 40 right here.
I'm throwing a 40.
What was it?
Alright. Come on. Explode. 41. Come on. What am I doing wrong, Chad?
Still
Okay.
rotating your hips.
No more
Rob,
rotation.
I need a Chad in my life.
You can have mine. He's telling me that it's sucks.
feel better.
That felt better, but
I mean, you're still doing it, but it's
All
not
right.
as bad as the first few.
Chad has spoken.
oh, this is the one. Oh, this one's for Garrett. That's easy, 41.
Nah, 45.
45, 46. Nope. Sorry, Gary, that's done.
Get lower with your drive leg.
Yeah.
Kind of got lazy and kind of get downloaded into it.
Hey, they brought you a water jug. They said it's on the counter for you.
Lower.
There you go.
That looked good.
That felt good. Alright, one more.
Just those strikes and good things happen.
You separated on that one too. The other ones it was going and your shoulders were going as you were driving. That one you could see the hips went and you stayed close with the shoulders.
Okay. Last one, that's all you got. Nope. Let that slip out of the hand. There you go.
Grab some balls.
Ah, at least I got a 41.
Yeah, that one looked pretty good.
I need to separate.
Yeah.
Show off. I've never done that before.
A 41?
Yeah, not lateral. That was the first time.
Because what we're doing is working.
Keep hitting that freaking gap right there.
Yeah, here. Hold on now.
That's good. Nope. How did I throw that 41?
You don't want that.
No. Okay.
You're horizontally abducting really well, and your front leg is really good, but you're not getting the hip to come through.
Okay.
Like, so similar like what he was working on. It's it's the abduction and the front leg is why it's doing really well, but the back hip isn't getting through.
Okay. Not the same thing.
You did it though, like on that one where you threw the 41, you did it.
That was
You drove the hip led, you delayed the shoulders, and everything looked good. It was sequenced really well.
Come on. 42.
Better.
Wow. That was a hard 40.
That was better.
Easier.
Your hip got through a lot more.
One day
Look
with
at you.
Spencer. Huh?
So look at you.
One day with Spencer, you know?
I mean, I wish I could do it. I can tell you how to do it.
That's 35 overhead.
One more.
Push that bad boy away.
Down.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. Well, the thing that helped me when I did that one, I stopped squeezing the ball and I just cupped it with both hands. Just cupped it. So I didn't muscle it. I just let everything kind of go back.
felt good.
I'm gonna do one more.
Alright, go for it.
And not a 45 already.
No one's going home until I hit a 45. That's funny. That was not it. Why am I so bad at these?
I'm better than Spencer.
Screwing around, Mark.
How do I stop that? Try. CVG, any words of advice?
Yeah, you're doing the same thing as you're losing your shoulder. You're not separating it. You're just throwing them like you're driving. It looks like, but you're throwing everything together.
Everything's going like that.
Mhm.
Like that.
Like squeeze your glutes, and then really focus on the back leg, creating that rear hip extension.
We're all set, dude. Set for life.
Okay. Here we go.
You're just slow.
Yeah. Felt better though.
See, I put down what you picked up. Oh, no, I said that wrong. I picked up what you put down.
That looked better.
Yeah, felt better. I actually got a foot. All right. One last 40 and I'm done. I separated.
So take your tire, you move slow.
Yeah, that's what I was going.
I'm not tired. It's a mindset. Kidding. I'm kidding. Last one. Oh, that's thick. Felt good though. I'm done. That look better?
That last one, no.
It actually looked worse. Well. Oh well. At least I know I can separate the base. All right.
just wherever you want to pick up with it.
Shit, I forgot you had to ask me a question.
All right, what was the questions? All right, so just go from the top of the story. You were playing. You just knew you had to take an off season. You were at a point in your career.
Yeah. No, I just knew that if I needed to, I wasn't where I needed to be physically, much less mentally, but I knew that I wasn't like prepared to pitch another season without having like the knowledge that I needed to do it like the next year. Like I felt like if I just went off to play summer ball, like I would have come back to the university, same pitcher, same results would have happened, and it would have been just like a never-ending cycle because I wasn't physically ready. I wasn't mentally ready. Like I didn't know enough about myself yet, which may or may not be my fault, but I wasn't mindful enough of how I moved throughout my delivery or anything to where I kept making the same mistakes and I didn't know how to fix it. So I think when I came here, as I was telling Grant, like it kind of just made me feel like I now had a point to where I knew what was going on, and I didn't need someone to try and help me fix it. Like I've done it in here enough to where if something was wrong, I was able to fix it myself, to where I didn't need someone in my ear telling me do this, do that, do this, that, and the third. And I feel like that's just something that's helped me.
You were able to kind of diagnose it for yourself and figure out what you needed to do.
Instead of relying on somebody to be like, hey, maybe try this or do this, and I was like, no, it doesn't work. Like I've already done that, it doesn't work.
So what helped that like the most? Like assessments or?
Yeah, and some people can have that and maybe their way works. I'm not saying other people's way is wrong, but I've done some things that haven't worked for me that people have asked me to do, and it's like, I don't want to disrespect you, but in the same time, like I've done it and it hasn't worked. I want to try and do something else to where maybe, and if it doesn't work, then I have to live with that decision on my own. Like I wanted to come here and because I felt like this would be the best for me career-wise, and you know, if it didn't work out, then I was gonna have to take the blame, like blame the name game and say, oh well, I didn't work out for this coach and this coach, but I did what I wanted to do and it didn't work. Well, then that's on you. That's on nobody else but you.
Right.
And I was willing to. I mean, it was scary. I'm not gonna lie, but I was willing to do that just because I trust my own work ethic enough to where if it didn't work, then I was gonna be able to be like, okay, then that's on me. It's not on anybody else.
Right. How old were you again when you decided? It was kind of like a time crunch too, right?
Yeah, I was 20. Going 20 years old.
Like, were you like eligibility wise in college? Where were you?
Heading to my senior year.
So like last year of eligibility.
Yeah, I literally have one shot left.
Left.
I've always wanted to play. I've always wanted to play at the highest level, and I had one shot, and I kept getting the same results, and I felt like I was just working my butt off for, and not much was changing. I was getting better every year, of course, but I wasn't like mentally. I had a sight to where I wanted to be at a certain level, and I just wasn't getting there, and I didn't understand what was breaking down. I was doing everything that I was trying. I mean, I was doing everything that I was asked of, like the right way, and I wasn't getting there, and it was frustrating. It's like, man, where do I go? So I wanted to just kind of take a step back and be like, maybe I need to just, you know, get away from pitching and focus on my body and understand more of the game and how I move, to whereas, okay, let me just go get some game time, which is definitely needed. I'm not saying that it's not at all. I needed both of it, but I think I needed this before then. Like I think I needed to be able to understand myself here before going to face a hitter.
So there's like a lot of guys that I feel would relate to this, and it's you know, whether it's a coach telling you to do one thing and you feel like you need to be doing something else, or even just like in terms of like going off and playing summer ball as opposed to doing an off season of training. Like, what advice, if they're in that spot where they're trying to figure out what they want to do, what advice would you give them?
Just go with your heart. I mean, especially if you're in your older days of college, if you're in your junior or senior year and you're not a freshman, you're not a sophomore anymore, you're getting to where now you understand the game and the level of you play at. I think if you have something in your heart that is, you want to go do something and it's, it doesn't agree with, a coach or a parent or this, that, and the third, and you want to go for it, I say, why not? But if it doesn't work, you can't, the name game, you can't blame this and that and the third if it doesn't, because, that is your decision. And, sometimes it's rough. I did it as late in my career as I could, scared to do it, honestly. I was afraid to make that decision on my own, but I knew that I trust myself enough and my work ethic enough to where if I would have done everything that I had envisioned and pro ball or whatever level still didn't work out, that I was going to be all right. I wasn't going to be able to live with the regret of, man, maybe I should have done this or I should have done that, and it didn't work out. But for the guys that do it and say they do everything the right way and it doesn't work out, because that's the case a lot of the time, that doesn't mean you made the wrong decision. It's just, it is what it is. Like, if you've done everything that you set out in your mind that you wanted to do, you can't look back and say, oh man, I have any regrets on this. But if you don't do it, when you get to a point where you're already a senior and it's like, now I don't have any more time, what am I going to do now? And it's too late if you haven't done what you set out to do in your mind, which, I know it's on a lot of people, especially kids, it's on a lot of people's mind. But, people are afraid to do that because it is a big decision, and I was that one. I was afraid, but like I said, I trusted in my ability and myself enough to where I felt like I needed to do this, and it's worked out, so.
Cool. That's dope.
I can only imagine how many people call you and Brent with that.
Argue with Brent on what?
Like call you and Brent with that, like,
oh yeah,
man,
yeah.
I want to do this, that, and third, but this coach so won't fucking let me, and it's like
all the time.
Shit sucks because you're a kid and you have to make such a grown-up decision that, like,
well, it's a lot of it is too, is like the physically they want to go this, that, and the third, like you're saying, but then they don't have the self-awareness to understand, like, being realistic with themselves where they're at.
Right.
Like,
I think that was one thing that's helped me. Like, I knew, like, I'm not the one to go out there, and if I go out there and shit the bed, it's umpire's fault, this, that, and the third happened, errors behind me. Like, if I sucked, then I was going to be able to look myself in the mirror and be like, hey, you suck today. Like, something's got to change, or you don't need to be playing this game anymore. Like, it's going to pass you up.
Right.
And I think that's something that helped me, because I did realize that, like, I'd go out there and have bad outings, and then it would, like, snowball, and it wouldn't be just one, it'd be like 2 or 3. And like, what the hell, it's not this coach's fault or that person's fault. Like, you're not doing something right. You need to make another decision to where there is no more, oh man, it's this guy's fault, error behind
putting
me.
the blame game on somebody.
Like, that's, at the end of the day, if you're not man enough to handle that, then that decision is never going to be able to, you're never going to be able to make that. So I think that's definitely one thing that helped me.
Yeah, there's just a lot of dudes that are at a place where it's like, summer ball isn't going to do anything for you anymore. Like, you're at that age where it's like genetically you've gone just about as far as you're going to go, and now it's time to start building it. And the only way to do that is through taking an off season. But like you said, like, it's like so against the conventional wisdom and like what everybody's telling you, that can be terrifying.
And it is, because it's, especially at like the higher level of college baseball, like, that's what you do. You go play and then you go off to summer ball.
Right.
But some guys need to do that, draft purposes, like, you need to go play.
Well, if their product is like where it needs to be, like if you're a guy that's on the radar and they just want to get more looks at you, then sure, go for it. But like if you're a guy that's like, my aspirations are to go play at the next level, but you're producing force like a high school level producing force, going and playing summer ball is going to be the opposite direction you want to go.
Right. And I think most people are like, they're afraid to make that decision. I mean, as anybody would, it's a tough call, especially if you're comfortable somewhere and, you know, like, that's where you wanted to be at one point, and then all of a sudden shit changes, and now you got to just do everything all over again. I mean, it's scary, especially if you're an 18 or 19-year-old kid. Like, it's a decision for fucking grown-ups.
It's true.
But like I said, I knew it was something that I had to do. But if I didn't trust in myself and like work ethic enough, then I don't think I'd have been able to make the decision.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, as a kid, I've always had a vision of me wanting to play because I've watched all of my brothers do it, my dad's done it, and so that's all I really knew. So I was willing to do anything I could to try and do what they did.
You had the right mentality on it.
I mean, I've had any and everybody tell me that, you know, I'll never be as good as any of them, or I wasn't any good in the first place. But it's whatever.
Nah, you can't listen to that stuff. That's all. That's all just lies. Everybody's got that and everything, man.
Lay on your stomach. Jeff.
And that was the other point. Like, at one point, I did. Like, I was terrible. Like, I had to look myself in the mirror as a man and be like, man, you gotta do something different, or you can't. You literally, your time can't run. You can't play anymore. You're not good enough. So that's one thing. I know when it's all said and done, I'll be proud to be able to say that. One day, I mean, I can't play for 100 years. Like, one day it's gonna end, and I know that that'll be something that I am proud of.
What's that saying? It's like everybody gets told they can no longer play again. Some say it's at 18, some say it's at 40, but everybody gets told.